Hello everyone, Maestro here. I am the football enthusiast. Hope you are all doing well. And in today's video, it's been a while, but we're back. And in today's video, we're talking about Chelsea's transfer activity recently in the market. They've signed two new players, and I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on both players. But before we get into that, guys, real quick, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It really helps out, and turn the bell on for notifications. Also, you can find my socials down below in the description. Let's get straight into the video. So, this video is in regards of two signings. Robert Sanchez, goalkeeper, and Axel Disasi, centre-back. And we'll start with Robert Sanchez first. So, yeah, a good signing, a needed signing. They needed to sign someone. Kepa, when Kepa first joined, there was a huge rave about him. He is, in fact, the most expensive goalkeeper of all time, Kepa, around 70 million. So there was a lot of hope about him. He had a lot of potential. Me personally, I saw him at Bilbao for many years, and I thought he was pretty darn good. And I thought it would be a good signing. It has not panned out that way, and the hope that it could still pan out that way is just gone. I think Chelsea and Pochettino realized that they simply couldn't go into the new season with Kepa as their starting goalkeeper. He is okay. He is far too inconsistent, far too unreliable, far too error prone. And Robert Sanchez has proven himself at his time in the Premiership as a safe, good modern day goalkeeper. He has the balance between his saves and the ball at his feet. In both regards, I think he is currently better than Kepa. So he is definitely, for me, a upgrade on Kepa. But I do want to say this. So his price was a small £20 million, 5 million in add-ons, totaling out to 25 million. I don't know if this Robert Sanchez signing is for the long term. I think it might be for the short term. Because whilst as I said before, I do definitely think he is an upgrade on Kepa, a big upgrade. I wonder, do Chelsea think he is good enough for the long term? For the long-term goals. So the short-term goals will be, Pochettino spoke about how their short-term goals are to straightaway compete for the title, for everything. Let's be real, he's probably just saying that just for the face. Their goals this season should be just simply getting back into the top four, and mainly just simply playing good football, progression for the squad. But for their long-term goals, which will be, of course, winning the Premiership, winning the Champions League, I don't think they'll stick around with Robert Sanchez. I think Chelsea have been heavily invested in the midfield market, and since their injuries, also the centre-back market and the forwards in January to now, they just simply were neglecting the goalkeeper position too much. So I think they gave it some sort of attention, and they've made it quick. Because Sanchez wasn't linked to Chelsea for a while. This was a quick transfer. A small £25 million fee. So I think this transfer here is for the short term. And I think next season, or maybe the season afterwards, they will then put heavy focus on the goalkeeping position. And then they will bring in who they think will be the number one for the long term. Long term being going for the Premiership, going for the Champions League. Because I was, once again, just to reiterate, I do think he's better than Kepa. I wonder if he's good enough for the upper tiers. Arsenal are kind of, Ramsdale, like, if you look at Arsenal, we are going for Raya, and we're very close to getting him. Why? Because maybe, we need to be ruthless here. Ramsdale's good, maybe he's not good enough for the top. So Chelsea might be doing the same thing here next season, where yes, Sanchez is here for now, and he can take us to where Chelsea want to go for now. But once we're there, which is like top four, something like that, and then we want to ascend even further, I think they'll be moving on from Sanchez. So my thoughts on this, just to sum it all up, I think he's a great goalkeeper, especially in the modern day, and definitely better than Kepa. And it was also very much needed, because they could not go into the new season with Kepa as a number one. They needed to move on. But I think this is a short-term transfer. I think a year from now or maybe 2, we will see them then heavily invest in the goalkeeper. But yeah, my thoughts on Sanchez, there we go. So that's my thoughts on Robert Sanchez to Chelsea. Now my thoughts on Axel Disasi to Chelsea. So this is, he was a Monaco centre-back, French Monaco centre-back. 38 million pounds centre-back. If you had told me around a month ago that Chelsea were going to buy a centre-back, I'd think they've got enough, don't they? But if you were to look at their squad, which we will do right now. So we all know about the horrible news about Wesley Fofana. He will be out for the rest of the season. That's a huge negative. But we've got a huge positive for Chelsea. Colwill is back from loan. He's here, seemingly in great form and ready to get a starting position in the squad. That's good news. Bad news again, Badiashile is also injured. I don't know when he'll be back, but either way, he has been injured a lot since he's joined. He has already proven himself to be injury prone. Malang Sarr, not good enough in my personal opinion for starting position. Chalobah on his way out. Thiago Silva, as here, I love Thiago Silva. I think he's amazing. He is 38. He is 38, turning 39 soon. Next month, in fact, in September. So, a month ago to now, I think this is a great signing. A needed signing too. It's great because, well, number one, let's talk about the player. He is a solid centre-back in terms of his defensive capabilities. He has a good variety of abilities, and he uses them well. But he's also a modern-day centre-back in his offensive capabilities, because when it comes to progression through the pitch, from your goal to the opposing team's goal, the progressive passes, the progressive carries, he is probably now the best player at Chelsea for that. Maybe Colwill could compete with him there, but when it comes to statistically, I've seen it myself. His progressive plays with his passes and his carries, he is of the higher tier in Europe. He really is. He is great on the ball, good touch, good dribbles too. He is a modern day centre back. He is a player that he can play in the midfield, but he plays at centre back and at times at right back. He is versatile, and he is in general, with those offensive capabilities, with a solid defensive foundation to work from. He is a good defender in general. His tackling is not great. His interceptions are good, but as a whole, I think he's good enough defensively. But when you add the offensive capabilities, that makes him a great modern day centre back, in my opinion, and I should say a potentially great modern day centre back. And he is also young. He is 25 years of age. That is still young. He has still plenty of room to grow, and he is a leader. Young lad, but he's been captain quite a few times, and also reliable. We spoke about how Fofana is injured, how Badiashile is injured, how Silva will be 39 soon. We have a lot of defenders at Chelsea that just aren't reliable enough. They won't be around enough. Far too injury prone. Disasi is the opposite of that. Last season, he played every single game for Monaco in the league. Every single one. He is a leader. He is strong mentally and physically. He will always be there. And in general, what you have there is in general, quality centre-back. With great potential. And also, we've established he's a great player, but also, like I said before, this is also needed. They needed someone like this. A month ago, I would say no, they're good on centre-backs. But with the recent events in the last month, yeah, they needed Disasi. So I like this signing too. I think Robert Sanchez is a good signing. I think Axel Disasi is also a good signing. But we are now going to the part of the video where I think Chelsea are kind of really, I mean, for Chelsea's sake, I really hope they're focusing on this more so than anything else. If you look at Chelsea's squad, I think they're good on the front line. I think they've got a lot of options there. Maybe they might buy Vlahovic or whoever, but if they were to go into the season with these forwards, I think they can make it do with that. And the defense as well. Robert Sanchez coming in, their goalkeeper, they are good there. Their midfield is, I think, for them and should still be the priority. We all know what's going on with Caicedo. There's been frustration between two clubs. It's been quiet for like a week or two now. No news on it. But I've got to say, even with Disasi, with Robert Sanchez, and even if you get Vlahovic or whoever you're thinking of getting else, if they do not bring in a number 6, a DM of starting quality like Caicedo, I think they are screwed. So look, so in terms of that midfield, Enzo Fernandez, I think he's fantastic. I love him. And Nkunku he's shown in the forward section, but he can also play in that number 10 role. So that's okay. Nkunku and Enzo right there. The third midfielder, for me, it cannot be, at least for this season, it cannot be Andre Santos. It cannot be Leslie. It cannot be Chukwuemeka. It cannot be whoever this is, my apologies. And it most definitely has proven to me already that it cannot be Conor Gallagher. I know that there are rumors that Pochettino has spoken about how Gallagher is part of his plans. I've got to say, if he's making him as if he's a part of his plans in the starting role, I do worry for Chelsea. In my personal opinion, they must, more than anything else, come into this season with a starting quality number 6. And that is Caicedo. Caicedo is that guy. And if you can't get Caicedo, then you must be looking somewhere else right now. Because if they go into the new season with this midfield, I think they're screwed. So the point of this video is for me just to say that, yes, I think Disasi is a great signing. And Robert Sanchez. Even with those signings, I still think they're screwed without a Caicedo or someone of that quality in that number 6 role for that midfield. You know, ideally they would need two number 6s. They've only got one that they might get. So I think they're in trouble if they don't get Caicedo, even with these transfers. Those are my general thoughts on Chelsea's transfer activity so far. It's good business. I agree with it. Signing down Colwill was also great. But all in all, without a number 6, I do worry for Chelsea in this upcoming season. And then for me, just Conor Gallagher cannot fill that role. He cannot. I love Enzo. I love Nkunku. Gallagher with those two will not work. I don't think he'll be good enough. Caicedo, I think, will. Alright guys, we're going to end the video right there. If you enjoyed, please like. If you want to see more, please subscribe for more. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you like Sanchez? Do you like Disasi? What do you think about the number 6 situation at Chelsea? Have a great day, and as always, take care of yourselves.